On the move. When I first got into college, I majored in theater arts, and I went to Sonoma State University. It was a state school up in Sonoma. Great theater department, fantastic, really good, great, multi-million-dollar theater they built, just state-of-the-art theater. But I didn't stay at that school long enough to really enjoy that theater. I didn't really perform in any big giant plays. I took a lot of classes. I took, movement, dance, modern dance. I took a scene work class. I took an auditions class. I was part of a comedy troupe, improv. And we toured around Rohnert Park, Sebastopol, and Sonoma. Cow towns, essentially, but, we played little clubs. And people showed up. There was a turnout. We had fun doing that. I learned a lot. I learned that I really do love improvisation. That was the big thing I learned. And so much comes out of improv. So many things. You're swimming in this cosmic sea of energy. And you're just a live wire antenna, real-time theater machine. It's incredible. It's incredible what the moment suggests and where things can go. I think that skill has kind of served me the most in my stop motion career, is improv. Because we don't really do scene work. Because, when you're a theater artist of some whatever, you're in plays or movies or TV shows, you're an actor. There's the improv approach, but even the improv approach has blocking, has some rehearsal process. If you're on camera, the camera team wants to know where you're going to be so that you're framed properly and in focus. Even if it's like, some Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of show that's all improvised, they probably block the scenes, all I'm imagining, even if it's handheld camera. And so as you're blocking stuff out and running the scene, you're starting to kind of map out the possibilities of what you can do with these moments. And so some actors really like to rehearse. They like to go over the scene a lot. They like to discuss with the other actors. They like to know what's going to happen before it happens. And there's a more kind of control rigor. And then some actors just like to wing it and see what bubbles up in the moment. I haven't noticed that animators do too much scene work. Animators tend to shoot LOVs, and they'll shoot maybe half a dozen LOVs and then pick their favorite one. And I guess to a degree that is scene work, because also when you're pushing the puppet around, you're making decisions in the moment that are changing that plan. The plan sort of gets refined. But I don't think animators do enough woodshedding and scene work. I don't think they do enough rehearsal. It's just not in the vernacular of the LA animation scene. It's a very fast conversation with a director that happens in the moment. And then you get kind of launched on your shot. And you fulfill the requests that were made in that first session. You know, questions come up, you make suggestions. The director may or may not be open to those. Some directors are really open, and they're like, surprise me. Other directors are not interested in what you have to say, and they're really hyper specific. But you're the talent, you're the actor, you're the one doing the scene, and so your sensibilities are what get projected into these inanimate objects on set. So how do you harness that energy? And how do you get something, how do you plus it? How do you plus it? Part of it is getting yourself juiced up and in the mindset of being able to plus it. You know, if you're tired and you're grouchy and you're hungover and you're out of energy and you're listless, you're probably not going to come up with a whole batch of really fantastic ideas. You might. I used to come up with some of my best stuff hungover. I used to just be like in this flow state where I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna do my X sheets because I don't feel like fucking looking at the puppet yet. And then I would start doing my X sheets and I'd be like, it might be kind of funny if he does this right here. and I just, you know, something would occur to me in that state of abandon that you get in. And you just, I'll do that. That'll be funny. I'll put the object down and then look up at the other guy. And then look at the door. That'll be funny. That'll be funny timing. Put the object down, look up, then look at the door. Just 3 beats. That's all I need. And, you know, whatever works. But if you do have energy, ample energy, a little extra, it's a good time to kind of just think about the scene, act it out, get in your body, try a few things, and then get into a quiet state where you can just imagine the scene in your mind's eye. And then run through it a couple times. Okay. Drags the character in, stops, looks left, looks right, picks the character up, jumps over the trash can. Drags the guy in, stops, looks left, looks right. Oh. Antic. Jumps over the trash can. Let's put a bigger antic in here. And as you're woodshedding and marking up your X sheets, that's what I tend to do. Um, I love X sheets because after a while, when you get really familiar with the shape and size of an X sheet, I just work in Dragon now, so I'm just looking at the generic X sheet in there. And, I draw lots of arrows. Character reels back, and I'll draw an arrow back. And I'll draw the arrow as large as how many frames it takes to do that. So if it's a 16 frame antic, I'll draw an arrow that's 16 frames big. So I know in these 16 frames, my character is kind of anticipating back before lunging forward. And after a while, just by glancing and looking and perusing your X sheet, you can see, okay, well, that needs more time. And Dragon's so genius. I mean, you can click on it and kind of scale your drawings down. So, 16 is too many frames. Let's try 12. Oh, yeah, that looks better. That fits in. I don't have 16 frames to spare. I have 10 to 12. And you can kind of just start to parse things out in the scene and just look at it. I've got, I only have 30 frames to do X, Y, and Z. So why do I have all this, superfluous motion? Because I don't have the frames to even afford that. I need to just cut to the chase. I need to simplify, and just do pose-to-pose stuff here, or else it's just not going to read. And I don't know. I think that's a nice visual guide. But the point of this diatribe, sorry to fucking bore you here, but is to get in the habit of trying to actually conceptualize your scene before you just attack it. Because you gotta work through the ideas that don't work or that could work better. And you gotta toss the ideas that you thought would work in the beginning and replace them with ideas that are better. I guess I'm talking to myself. This is it. Mish, you need to start planning your shots better. Because your weakness as an animator is you just jump in head first. And that, while that is a courageous, good quality in stop motion, I think a lot of people overthink things and then get really scared about doing. It's also kind of your weakness because your work could be conceived in a stronger manner. It could occupy the frame with more gusto and aplomb. It could really be have more of a presence, a stage presence. Let's just get into just acting vernacular. What makes a good scene? Compelling acting, stage presence, a command of the moment. Those are all qualities that you're aiming for. And how do you get more of that into your scenes? How do you let things really, really read so that they're a moment in time that sticks with the audience? They're just like, the swords are clashing, and then and then there's the pirouette. The swords are clashing, and then there's the pirouette. There's got to be a moment of danger before the pirouette. Is that blade gonna cut into me? Clash. Oh, pirouette. Drama, heightened drama, rhythm, letting everything read, giving everything ample time, creating a sense of anticipation, wetting everybody's whistle, creating drama. When a character is threatened, audiences scooch up in their seats. They engage more. If it's just heroics 247, people sit back and start chomping popcorn a little louder. Anyway, just some thoughts.